Good evening. I've been told that we need to have some music to introduce us in. So if you agree, let us know, and then maybe let us know what music should introduce the Ort Jet Business Show. I'm David Zidel. Today, as you know, is the 6th. It's Thursday, the 6th of February. It's 10 minutes past 6, and we've got a special guest with us this evening, like a surprise guest, an entrepreneurial guest, but I'll explain, and all will be revealed a little bit later. If it's the first time that you're listening to the show, the way it operates is I give a little bit of a story. Sometimes it's motivational, sometimes it's to explain a little bit around the entrepreneurial mind and the entrepreneurial mindset. And I'm going to start with a quote. And the quote is, "When the fishermen cannot go to sea, they repair their nets." And I think that's an unbelievable quote, because you can't always do in business what you want to be doing. You can't always be selling what you want to be selling. Sometimes things go wrong and things don't work according to plan. And what you do is you prepare yourself for when things do go right and when things do go according to plan. So like the fishermen, where it's a bad day, it's a rough day, they can't go out to sea, they don't do nothing. They sit back, they prepare the nets that enable them to then, when they do go out to sea, to operate a lot better. So what you need to do when you're in business, or if you're thinking of going into business, or if you're thinking of starting something, do something today that your future self will thank you for. Do something that will prepare the groundwork so that that groundwork you can use in the future. And there's an old question of, when was the best time to have planted a tree? And obviously the answer is 20 years ago. Why? Because if you planted the tree 20 years ago, you'd be sitting in the shade today. You'd be enjoying the fruits from that tree today. But if you didn't do it 20 years ago, when's the second best time to do it? And the answer is today. Because if you plant it today, your results will be there in 20 years' time. If you say, I should have, I could have, I would have, but I didn't, and then you do nothing about that, in 20 years' time, you'll be no different to where you are today. And so it's important to prepare for tomorrow in a way that enables tomorrow to be better than today. And success doesn't come overnight. You don't become an overnight success overnight, because the preparation takes time. When you plant a seed, that seed starts to grow for a long time underground. When you start seeing it popping up through the ground, it's been growing for quite some time. So don't look for immediate results. It takes time for those results to germinate. So that's the message for today. And on the previous shows that I've had, at the end, I've forgotten to thank Craig, our engineer. So I'm going to thank Craig now in case I forget in future. So Craig, thank you for all the wonderful work that you do. And some people have said to me, the Ort Jet Business Show. What is Ort Jet? And Ort Jet helps you if you've got a business, or you're even thinking of starting one, or maybe you've just got an idea where you're waiting for it to take off. Ort Jet Joburg can be that game changer for you. Whatever stage your business is at, Ort Jet is what they call a business accelerator, and you may need it. By joining Ort Jet, and the costs are not a lot. It's in fact very minimal, but the benefits are huge. If you look at any business, you look at return on investment. If you need some help, the return on investment from Ort Jet is unbelievable because you get an expert mentor, you get training, and you get community support that helps you thrive. And there's some amazing businesses in Joburg that have received their support and are today, as I said, amazing businesses. On the other side, we've got mentors. But if you are an experienced business person and you want to give a little bit back and you want to become a mentor, you too can make a difference and join Ort. Ort Jet is always looking for mentors and people like you who can share knowledge, guide entrepreneurs, and help shape the future of these small businesses. So whether you need help or you want to give back, you can join and contact Ort Jet at www.ortjet.org.za, or you can email Helene at ortsa.org.za. That's Helene, spelled Helene, at ortsa.org.za. And we're here to help you with your businesses. And part of what we're doing on the show is introducing you to different types of entrepreneurs and different business stories so that you can learn from it. There's an amazing saying that says, who is smart? And the answer, he who learns from everybody. And who is rich? He who is happy with his portion. And tonight's guest sums that up. She's a lady that has learned from so many different people. And she says she's happy with what she's got. And everybody has a story. And also everybody has more than one story. So we're going to tap into a couple of the stories for tonight. Our mystery guest was born in Alex to a domestic working mom. She went to a rural school until standard 3. And then she started working on a farm. She was 14 years old when she started working. At the age of 19, she didn't enjoy what it was and she ran away from the farm and came back to Joburg and stayed with her mom in Joburg. In order to make some money, she started crocheting clothes and sold them. She went door to earn some money. But she realized that she needed a place to stay. And if she got a job as a domestic worker, that would give her the accommodation that she needed. But she realized that she wasn't earning enough money. And in 1980, she started selling African dresses. How did she learn to make these dresses? She went and bought an African dress. And as she said, she tore this dress apart and used those pieces of the dress to create the pattern that she could now make her own dresses. Then she got some cooking lessons from the lady that she was working with, and she became an unbelievable cook and baker and started selling crunchies to make even more money. And a quote that she said is, "I never got an education, but God gave me the wisdom." And our mystery guest tonight, I'm going to reveal after the ad break. I'm David Zidel, and I'm with our mystery guest tonight, and we're on the Ort Jet Business Show. And I'd like to introduce you to Dudu Maria Vilakazi, who is still a domestic worker, but runs a whole lot of other little businesses. And some of them are sewing, and some of them are cooking, and some of the others she'll tell you about. Good evening, Maria.
Evening, David. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Maria, you found different ways of making money because you needed the money, from sewing dresses for weddings, etc.
Yes.
Where did this idea of becoming entrepreneurial come from? Why didn't you just stay with what you were doing? Why were you looking for different ways of making money?
To me, it was not enough, and I was feeling like if I'm not doing anything, it's like my brain, it's in a deep freezer. So I was supposed to take out my brain and think, okay, number one, I was domestic worker, that's number one. And I did number two, it was sewing, and it was not enough. And I need another thing to do. And I was supposed to think so hard to myself, talk to me, and what do I want in life? Because that was not enough.
And do you think doing extra things, is it just for the money, or do you gain more from doing the things and working than just for the money?
No. Okay, I was looking for money, but I was gaining more because I was getting in talented to, okay, I can do another thing, give me money. And that was motivating me and the people around me.
So it motivated you that you can learn new things and you can do different things.
Exactly.
So just take us back to that time when you started learning and how to make African dresses. How did you go about doing that? And who were you selling these dresses to?
I was selling the dresses to our people because our culture, they've got style to wear. And I always went to town and see another people, they're sewing that and not right. You know, sometimes you find the top, it's long and you can see it. Okay, I have to do it perfect. I have to do it in the right way. So that gave me to be busy in my brain, to be busy, just keep me busy, make money, meet the friends, meet the people, and that was it.
And some of the orders you were telling me were quite big orders, because you would have a wedding and it's not just selling to one person, it's to a lot of people who were going to the wedding.
Yes, when I start with the people, and what it's amazing. I never went to stand up in the street and hang my stuff to say I'm selling that. No, once I saw for another person is going to tell another person. It's how my business start. Because even now, I did want to have a small shop to put my clothes, but I didn't have a space. In future, I never lose the orders to say maybe I saw 4 things or 5 things, nobody come and buy it. No, I was going through order.
So you didn't make things and hope that you would sell them. You
No.
got the order.
I've got an order from the people.
And then
if I saw for one and then another one, she will see it and then ask, where did you find it? Who make it for you? And it's how I did get the order. Yes.
So you saw that people were doing something and they weren't doing it right, and you thought you could do it better. And so you started making it. And then your business grew through what we call in the business terms word of mouth.
Yes.
Where if you give a good service, people tell each other.
Yes.
And then the business grows.
Exactly.
And maybe you didn't even know it, but you protected your stuff because you didn't just make things hoping it would sell. You only sold to order.
Yes. Yeah, in a few years' time, when I start to sew and I start to get the people they see what I was sewing, and I did start to get some orders from Amaskra, weddings, Petersburg, and then yes, it's where I start.
And then that wasn't enough for you just to do that. What were some of the other things that you did and sold?
No, that was not enough. I was looking, it's A, B, C, D, and I was come to C. And okay, what else can I do? And I remember when they were building a Bluebird in Mero's Ark.
The Bluebird, the shopping center.
Yeah, the shopping center and the complex opposite that. When they're building that, and then I just think, there's the people there, and what can I do? And then I start to make a fat cake and maheu, the African drink. When the people work, we used to drink that at home. They call it maheu. And I make that, sell it for them, which was amazing. I was working, but wake up at 3 o'clock, make my guinya, and 6 o'clock, I had some guy what he was selling for me, 20 liter, take out, go out at 6 o'clock, go and sell it. Before 8:30, before I go to work, the maguinya was finished. And what it was amazing, the guy was helping me to sell. I was not a selfish. I share with him because that guy he was looking for a job. He didn't know what to do. And then I thought, because it was a young guy, and I spoke with her mom, she said, okay, there's no job, he's looking for a job. And I spoke with the guy, if you know, money, it's money. You never choose what job do you want. You can make money. You must just use your head. And then he understand and he listened to me. I said, okay, we're going to make maguinya. I'm going to respond to you with the money you're going to buy. And when you sell it, are we going to share the money? I was just trying to prevent that guy to not go to the criminal, to understand how can you make money. You have to use your head to make money. Working or no working, but if you've got a head, you can make money. Yes, it depends what you're thinking and how do you surround with the people what is surrounding you, and what language they talking to you. So I have that guy like that. We carry on selling maguinya until the place was finished.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So you basically employed someone else, helped him as well.
Yes.
To grow and as you say, maybe protect him from having to go to crime.
Yes. The point is, if you hire somebody to help you, doesn't mean if she's coming with the money and then you have to take all the money and put it in your pocket. Think for yourself. You have to think for somebody else, and then you coming after. I'm not coming in the front. It's all the time what I'm doing.
So it's sharing with others.
It's sharing, it's caring, yes. Wow. You share.
That's fantastic. And then, so you started doing this, and then what else did you do and how did things grow? I must just also mention that we've got a guest that's coming on in about a month's time, a guy called Gigi Alcott. And Gigi Alcott wrote a book called Cussinomics. And Cussinomics is the economy of the location. And that's similar to what you're saying. And he says that economy is huge. And it's a big economy. And you, without even knowing it, tapped into that economy.
Yes.
How did you work out what you were going to sell the stuff for? How do you know that you're going to make a profit?
Number one, I understand I was South African, and us, especially when you never went to school, you're not educated, you always get a small money. But I did share with that small money to another person, because you can't make the business by yourself. You can't have a company and then you said, I'm the only one what I'm going to work in a company. You need some people. Yes.
But if you take, for instance, your dresses.
Yes.
How do you work out how much you're going to sell those dresses for? What enabled you to know that you're going to be able to sell them and that you're going to make a profit?
Number one, you're taking a transport, you're taking a taxi to town, And when you come to town, at the shop, you buy material, you start from there. How much did I pay? Plus your transport. You come home, and then when you start to cut the dress, and you start to counting your time, how long did it take me to finish the dress? And then you start from there to charge, to get that, to make a small interest, because you can't charge more. Yes.
So-
If you start to grow up, you're not charging more until the people what you make the dress, they say it's perfect and it's good, and they coming to you. So you can't be selfish and charge more. You want to get rich in a one day. No, you need to share with the people. They must know you. Okay, if I come, if let's say maybe the person hasn't got enough money, you just charge as not more than a big interest.
So you're basically saying you calculated everything, all the costs that you put in, including your labor and your time,
Yes,
which a lot of people forget about, to include that. And then you sold it at a price related to what the market was doing. You didn't overcharge
no,
until people realized how good it was, and then they might be willing to pay more.
yes, because I was fear God. Why did I do that? I was fear God because I don't know how did I do it, and get more customers come to you. Some of the people, when they come to pay, they can pay you extra to say thank you. And yeah, I couldn't charge more, but I was charging enough.
As you say, and as I said at the beginning, who's happy with your portion? And that's what you're saying, that you charged enough.
Yes, the point is, I did want my client to be happy. And then always my client come first, and I'm coming at the back, because even you can't charge. Sometimes you charge the stuff and it's not so good. I did wait when the client come and take a fitting and happy. I can see her face. I can look at her. I can see she can't fake if she's not happy. So they were always happy. That's why they pay extra what I charge. They did pay more.
Because they were so happy.
Yes.
Wow. If you've just joined us, I'm David Zidel. You're listening to the Ort Jet Business Show, and we're talking to Dudu Maria Vilakazi, another, as I would call it, accidental entrepreneur, a domestic worker who, besides just doing the domestic work, has been doing different ventures and being able to earn more, and we're learning some lessons from what she did. And just talking about those lessons, what are some of the important lessons that you have learned that you think others should know about business?
To start a business, David, you have to be honest, number one, and understand yourself. What do you want in life? You need first to speak to yourself. What do you want in life? What you want to do? And then afterwards, you can maybe speak with a friend, because sometimes they're going to say, okay, you got a lot of money, maybe because you do the sewing and you domestic worker. It's not that. It's not about money. It's about thinking, what do you want in your life?
And so you get some fulfillment.
Yes.
From doing that, besides the money, as you keep saying.
Exactly.
And
money is not everything. You must, let's say you've got the clients or the people around you. You have to be honest and understand that people, they are more than you. First, the people, you save the people first, you come at the back. Not only you all the time, everything what you do, you fulfill your understanding. You don't think about the people.
That's amazing because you have people go to business schools, and part of what they learn in the business school is put the customer first.
Yes,
And you just naturally know that.
exactly. You have to be very important to your customer, because if you lose that your customer, some of the people what they do sewing and some of the businesses they fall down, they lose their customers. You have to make your client to be happy. Whatever you do, help another person. Talk live. Talk what you do. How did you start? How could you start? You can't do the business by yourself.
You know, what's amazing is when you were talking about the clients and about when they came and they tried on the clothes
Yes.
and they put it on. And even now, like you got this huge smile on your face. It like really gives you internal happiness and joy.
Yes. Once the person fit the dress and I can see she's very happy, and then I start, okay, you pay me. I can see my client first, it's happy. You don't demand money while the person you work with is not happy. No.
So you create that happiness and then the money will come.
Yes. All my clients.
That's fantastic. And if you had to look at the youngsters of today or some kids today and you had to share some of your lessons, what are the key things, maybe the key 3 things that you would say to them just about business, but also just about life?
Okay, what I can say about the children and the domestic worker. You have to think and understand what you want in your life. Because some of the people and some of the youngest, they rely on the parents to get. All the time you want to get, you don't want to try to make it for yourself. We need to spread it. Wake up, guys. South African domestic house worker, wake up. Start to look. Okay, I'm working. Where do you work? You're working the boss also working for you.
So you're saying don't just accept where you're at.
Exactly.
Look further.
Yeah, exactly.
Look forward.
Yes. Don't demand. Yes.
Wow. So this is Dudu Maria Vilakazi, who is sharing, I would say, like a business MBA with us, even though she didn't finish school herself, but has gained unbelievable wisdom and knowledge. And I'm going to ask you to elaborate a little bit more on that after the break. Welcome back. I'm David Zidel. I'm talking to Dudu Maria Vilakazi, who is giving us a mini MBA. And Maria, I just want to unpack some of the pearls of wisdom that you've given us so far. So first of all, you said don't just accept where you're at the moment. Always look to see, can you do something else? And can you make things for yourself, not waiting for the handouts? Can you do things better? So if you are given a service and you're not happy with it, can you make it better? Like you said with the dresses, you thought they weren't any good and you thought you could do better, and you did.
Yes.
And if you do a good service, if you help others, then your business will grow through the word of mouth.
It is growing.
And it's growing.
It is growing. The people what surrounded me, some of the people, when you talk, they understand. Some of them, they just ignore you because they're leaning on another people. They don't want to start from scratch, do it for themselves, to learn how to stand up. It's so difficult. That's why you see some of our people, they look like they're suffering too much. They're lazy to think. They don't want to think. Everything they want to demand some way. But if you start your stuff from the scratch, It's easy. It's not easy when you start the foundation. Yeah, because the life is not easy.
Mm.
Life is not easy. Life is needing the people what they can think for themselves, understand where they're going, where they're coming from, what they want in life. Not to be gift, to try to do your own thing. Our government has said there is a word say vuka uzenzele. Wake up and do it for yourself.
Say that again.
Vuka uzenzele.
Vuka uzenzele.
Vuka uzenzele, it's wake up and do it for yourself.
Fantastic. And then what you said also, which was an interesting business lesson, is you said you only made things to order. So you got the order first.
Yes.
And so you only made it when you knew it was going to sell.
Yes.
Where a lot of businesses, they make a lot of products and they wish and they pray it can sell. And that's where sometimes you lose because you make things that don't sell.
That it was my question when I was looking around in town. I was looking the small portion when I did like to also advertise myself. And you go to town, it's 10 shops selling the same thing, and you don't understand. And if you ask how much they pay, and then they tell you a huge money, and when you're around there, people doesn't buy that stuff. How do they making money for end of the month? What I'm lucky in town, I still got my own patent because my patent, what I'm sewing, it's my vision. I dream about that. And I look at that, I don't want to make the same thing as next door. I need to do my own thing. This is mine.
So what you're saying over there is also be unique. Be
exactly.
Different.
Yes.
You can't all be making the same thing.
Yes.
And you also said one of the lessons is no matter what you're doing, always look for new opportunities.
Exactly.
And then get others to help you, like the guy who was selling the stuff at Bluebird where you shared.
Yes, we shared.
You can't always do everything yourself and you can help. And when you shared, you said, don't be selfish. When you looked at the pricing of it, even the pricing of it, you looked at all the elements of the pricing, the transport there, the material that you bought, even the time and labor that you put in, all of those you factored into the price that you gave, which a lot of people forget to input all the factors into when they price something.
I did want somebody to help me when I was doing the sewing a lot. I did make my own spady, not from town. I make my own pattern. And there was in Polokwane, I don't know which year was it. I had about 40 dresses for the wedding I was supposed to make. And I asked someone to help me. He was greedy because he would waste all my material and my clients. They couldn't take it. They couldn't wear it. It was the waste. I think when we're motivating the people, have a pure heart. Learn from someone else, because I thought something it was wrong because you asked me how much you're going to get. And then you tell me the price before that. And I gave him 10 with a roll of material. Go and do it. In the last minute, you do all the wrong things. I still got it. It didn't help me.
So you've got to be able to get over the mistakes that you make as well.
I was crying because the wedding, it was on the 25th in December. I let one lady go on the 24th at night to take half of the stuff to Petersburg. I was very disappointed and I was crying like somebody died because what I understand, you don't disappoint the person what you say you love. You don't make that mistake. Because he was She was killing my business. I take care of the person. If I make it, I have to try to be perfect.
And so this feeds into what you said is you got to create something that people love and you got to make your clients happy.
Yes.
And so I can hear just that when that didn't work, that really affected you. And it's about understanding what the happiness is. And then you also went on and you said you've got to be honest
You
in
need
business.
Yes, you need to be honest, but the honest, it starts on you. You yourself, you have to be honest, not fake like I'm honest to you while I'm not pretending. It's the people are pretending. They're not honest. You have to start to be honest for yourself, and you have to forgive yourself, and then you can forgive another person, and then you can humble yourself to another person. If you humble to another person, that person is going to be humble to you.
And it's about also, as you said, knowing what you want in life.
Exactly.
I think this is incredible, the lessons that you're unpacking here. And then another thing, when I was speaking to you earlier, you used a sentence where you said, and it's an Afrikaans sentence, which said, "Bietjie bietjie maak meer." Little makes more.
Yes.
Just explain that to me.
Okay, if you say bietjie bietjie maak meer, I grew up in a farm. It's how I learned when I grow up. You said you don't rush for the big thing. You have to start to the ground floor. You can't go to the second floor, first floor, or second floor. You have to start in the ground floor. It's like when you're making a house. When you're making a house, if the foundation of the house it's not right, that house is damaged.
So you're saying you've got to build from the bottom up.
Yes.
But you've got to make sure that that basis is good.
It's what I'm telling all the time, the people, try to fix your back.
I'm David Zidel. I'm talking to Dudu Maria Vilakazi, and we're talking about the business, but more the lessons that you learn through business. And I'll come back and we'll continue and sum up the discussion after the ad break. Welcome back. I'm David Zidel. This is the Ort Jet Business Show, and I'm talking to Dudu Maria Vilakazi, who's explaining to us her business life, working as a domestic and then doing other things on the side, and the unbelievable lessons that she's learned from this. And I think this is an inspiration for all businesses. And if you're inspired by what Maria or Dudu Maria is saying, and you're thinking you can start a business and you can do something, but you're not sure where to start, you can get help in Johannesburg from Ort Jet. And they will help you by giving you a mentor, giving you training, and giving you support, and looking at your idea and seeing whether it works. So if you're looking to start a business, contact Ort Jet. Or if you are already a business person and you want to give back to the community, you too can become a mentor and help. And please visit www.ortjet.org.za to see if you can help or be helped. We've got 2 more minutes left. What is the final message? Or is there a final message that you want to give about your story and your life? And as you said, I never got an education, but God gave me wisdom. How do you use that wisdom?
You see, I'm coming from a very poor family, very, very poor. But I talked to God the rest of my life to say, I'm born poor, but I won't die poor. Because our God doesn't matter how to start. The matter is how you end it. So I'm very happy what I've done, working. I'm still working and I'm still in a business, but when I look back to me, it's fantastic because I achieved the stuff what I look, or either the stuff what I was thinking about. I need a beautiful home. I don't want to be rich, but I want to be success and just happy, and I am.
That's amazing. And as you were talking, there was like the thunder was coming out. I don't know if you could hear it on the radio, but it was like emphasizing your message. And so I think that's a great, great place to end the show on your message of it's not how you start,
Yes,
it's how you finish.
exactly.
And that's how we're going to finish this interview. I just want to thank you so much for coming, for sharing your story, and for all these amazing, amazing lessons that you've given us. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you, David. Thank you.